Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. Couple things. First of all, there were some comments yesterday about Dr. Mundo and AoE and things like that. I actually want to encourage people to look at the actual area of effect damage that happens with a combo Mundo, Rumble, and Karthus, particularly when they have to sit and walk through a potential Kog'Maw slow, that kind of nice creepy field he throws out in front of him. It's actually pretty significant as you're moving forward. It's pretty incredible, I think. Second thing, I'm really bad at self-promotion, and usually I try not to annoy you guys with this sort of thing, but I haven't commentated in a while, so if you guys can generally let people know I'm commentating again, or anyone who's interested in League of Legends, I still didn't get a lot of responses as to whether or not people wanted me to put this on a separate channel or not. I guess I'll address that as time moves forward. And then third, I guess, what do you guys want to see in this regard as far as League of Legends based commentary goes? You actually enjoy this, things like that. Anyway, this game we have Deathnu, who's going to be playing jungle Shaco. You have Graves, who's going to be the AD carry bottom lane. You have Tifa, who is most likely going to be top. Leona is going to be supporting Graves. It's possible that Fizz could be going top lane. He's sitting in spawn for whatever reason. I'm not sure what's up with that. He's probably going to be AP mid. You also have Taric, who is Ganja Pipe, supporting on the opposite corner. I'm not sure if they're AFK or disconnecting or what's going on with these two, but I yellow, respectively, with Ganja Pipe. I should actually say Xanatis, also Layout. Opposite side, you have Corki going to be filling in, well, it's hard to see these guys, actually. In here you have Ahri, who's going to be playing mid lane. You have Nautilus, who's going to be jungling, who's a little bit slower, but has pretty good, solid takeaways. You have Vlad, who I cannot believe is not banned. We have internal joke. The people we play with always ban Vlad. He's a really tough lane. And then you have Corki, bottom lane. So going to go ahead, and I got in really early on this game, which makes me really excited. Shaco opening up cloth armor. One amazing thing about Shaco, and actually the reason they're guarding so hard here, is because Shaco usually starts red, and he usually drops a lot of these Shaco boxes in the corner, and as long as he can drop a lot of Shaco boxes, he can actually get a really fast start to his jungle, get a really fast level 2 gank. One thing about Shaco is he's more of an annoying jungle than an effective jungle. He's very effective against teams that don't prepare for him. They don't get early vision wards, they don't get early wards in general, don't get an early oracles, things like that. And so if Shaco can get lucky, well, not just lucky, if he can go up against an ill-prepared team, he'll have a lot of success. It looks like Vlad back standing at top lane, and I'm not sure if there's just disconnect problems happening or what. Looks like Tark's starting to move out to bottom lane. Looks like Fizz is now back. Well, actually, never mind, he went back to go to top lane. That's what was happening there. So Graves helping a little bit there at the Wraith, and you can see the Shaco boxes just set up there in a row to get he doesn't even need a pull on blue is really what essentially happens. You can see how quickly he'll chew through this red buff, which is going to set up for an extremely quick, I gotta say it's probably the fastest you can clear the first initial golems. Looks like blue buff starting for Nautilus in that opposite corner. Level 2 gank, and let's see if he decides to just go straight for Ahri, if he's just going to go straight up to Vlad. Actually, Vlad is not a bad choice to go straight after, or if he's just going to go over and start on his blue buff. It looks like he is in fact dropping Shaco boxes at his blue buff, and he's actually going to get blue buff before going for a gank. In the meantime, Nautilus does have blue buff, and he's swinging back around. So go ahead and talk about the lanes. Mid lane, Fizz. He can have some trouble with Ahri, but he can be very effective against Ahri at the same time. It really depends on, one, how Ahri is with her skill shots, and how Fizz is dancing around. Fizz is really an interesting skill-based champion. And there it looks like taking a little bit of free damage. Ahri has a bit more sustain in the lane, but Fizz has more escapes, and he can be more aggressive in lane. Looks like we are going to see the first attack top lane. Vlad is going to get ganked by Shaco. I'm assuming he's going to have pool at this level. There's the cloak. Vlad sees it, detects it, realizes it was happening there, saw the little poof, was probably looking for it, and just backs right up. This is going to be an extremely tough lane for Jax, because Jax, even though he pounds a lot, is a very good 1v1 champion. Vlad can just sit there and lifesteal for days. And let's see if he sees the second turnaround. I don't think his pull is up. Turnaround kill, lots of damage. Vlad ghosting. He has been exhausted, and first blood for Shaco. And again, that's the power of an early game Shaco, is he can just gank repeatedly, and if you don't have early wards, you end up suffering for it, and that's going to give Jax a nice advantage. It looks like Nautilus was getting a pull at him. Nautilus might die here too. Shaco is in fact just swinging right around, and we're going to see the power of annoying Shaco, especially across this top lane. Nautilus is gone. Wow. And that's going to make this top lane, even with Vlad, I guess Vlad is one of the better champions to be in a lane when you're behind. But 2 kills on Jax early. He's still level 2. Jax has 2 levels up on him. Shaco at level 4 as well is now stealing red buff. things not going well at all currently for the red team, and that's actually one of the bigger snowball effects. Interesting here, it looks like Nautilus going for more of a support Nautilus build, and as I'm saying this, Leona getting a jump on Taric. Taric taking some damage, Graves getting that last tack of damage. Leona gets the kill, which Graves would have preferred, obviously. It looks like Corki is basically out of mana in the meantime, so he might as well just go ahead and back up in lane. And Graves and Leona, this is actually, I think, the best bottom lane combination right now. Graves tends to be extremely strong early, have a little bit of trouble middling after that, and then again end up being very strong late. Actually, I think he has a strong... he's strong all the way across, but right at that period of time where he doesn't have his items quite bought yet, where he's sitting in lane or relying on abilities, where his opponent, another kill mid for Death Noob. Death Noob finally getting taken out. Ari did manage to get the counter kill, but in the meantime, he's been associated with 3 kills. That's going to be another assist for him. He's having a happy jungle. Only 12 minion kills, but honestly, that Shaco, you gotta, because you don't have really fast clear times, and because you have a little bit more trouble clearing jungle, somehow Vlad catching up to level 4 against this Jax. Looks like Jack turning around now hitting level 5, and again I think Vlad, one of the better champions at catching up in this regard. You need items like this early for, and actually like that from Shaco, getting Modred's Razor to help him clear those minions a little bit faster, but again, expect Shaco, being Shaco, just to push out a little bit more and go for more lane ganks overall. Anyway, getting back to the Leona, Graves lane looks like they've got it scouted. Taric trying to taunt Leona out here. Leona looking for some damage, and Taric just taking some free damage, being an idiot, mocking, and might get himself killed here. Almost gets himself killed. He's lucky he did not die. The reason doing that, perhaps, he's thinking, okay, well, I'm a sustain lane. As long as I survive, I can just heal myself back up. That'll allow Corki to do some damage on Graves, so perhaps he's trying to play it from that angle, but honestly, it would not offer up that much free damage. Leona going to back up in the meantime. But anyway, Graves going to back up as well. This is an extremely strong lane. Basically, one Leona combo, and you're dead, is really what it comes down to. If she manages to hit any combo of stuns with Graves there and the amount of damage that he can unload, essentially at any stage of the game, it's going to almost instantly be a kill. Ari getting ganked again by Shaco. Looks like she is going to be able to pull out, trying to do as much counter damage as possible. Nice taunt, trying to do as much counter damage against Yellow as possible to try to drive him off lane. Shaco now returning to the jungle. Nautilus is just sitting in jungle is really what it comes down to, and it really sucks as Nautilus when you end up behind in the jungle and you've already, I mean, he took that early death. He's trying to farm up basically as quickly as he can, but he's got very slow clear times comparatively to a lot of other champs, and really his strength is being able to have those pulls and have that threat out of lane. It's not to say he's the worst or has the slowest, and Ganja Pipe looks like he's going to end up getting killed again. Graves trying to hunt them down, but Leona stun should be back up. Another kill. So 2 deaths on Graves, both going to the Leona. Unfortunately, Graves, I'm sure, does not mind, though. He's currently actually behind 31 CS versus Corki. Corki doing a fantastic job of last hitting under turret. Looks like Shaco setting up towards the north, thinking about going for another jump in on Graves. Jax is, in fact, level 6. Keep in mind, he has that ult, which can be extremely dangerous. Nautilus having some trouble, not really knowing where to go. And this is the other thing, without a lot of ward coverage, you also have to be wary of Shaco counter ganks, is really what it comes down to. Here's the ult. This is a very intelligent thing. Always run in with the ult first, so as to create some trouble. And it looks like Vlad, yeah, pulling out of it, turning around, doing some damage, is like, okay, well, that's the fake. I still have enough health, enough regeneration, I can deal with it. Ari sweeping through is going to be looking for a kill, so it looks like they're going to go for a counter attempt on Death Noob in the jungle to try to shut this Shaco down. Shaco realizes it, and this is brilliant play from Death Noob, actually. Really intelligent, dropping the box in the jungle just in case someone was going to come out of lane and attempt exactly that. So basically that box saving his life, making it so Ari can't really do anything. Now he's going to turn around to go ahead and take that blue buff. Looks like Jax is going to head back to spawn, and this is really classic high-level Shaco jungle play, I gotta say. He's doing a really fantastic job. Yellow in a little bit of trouble. He's already, yeah, he's gone. Oh my goodness, goodbye. If you're going to use all of your escapes right there, you better make sure you're going to get a kill, particularly when you do not have your jungle accounted for and your jungle is busy to provide any support. Nice opportunity kill there by Nautilus. That is the power of Nautilus. Bottom lane currently, though. So just assessing things, actually, I should say, at this stage. Leona Graves doing a fantastic job boxing these guys out bottom lane. Looks like Graves has managed to take the advantage overall as far as just flat CS goes. Taric, Corki, he does have a strong stun. He is capable of doing some damage. Vlad having to pull out away from this Jax. Is he going to be able to get away, though? Ghosting. Jax is running in. Flash gets the hit. Nice kill top lane. He's really dominating top lane. One thing for both Jax and Vlad, they're not really your stand-in Well, they are kind of your standard absorb damage champs, but they're not kind of the champs that can basically... Ooh, big team fight I'm missing. I'm going to pause, actually, and come back to this. They're not those champs that just want to sit there and absorb a lot of damage. They're the guys who want to go in, do the damage they can, get the licks in, and then basically pull out of the fight. So let's re-examine what's happening here. It looks like Nautilus and Ahri waiting on turret. Xanatus, in fact, engaging as Leona. Graves doing so as well. 4 people down. Graves gets the kill on Taric, loses Leona at the same time, but considering there's 4 down bottom lane, that's not a bad exchange. He might want to pull back, but this is going to give some time for Shaco and Fizz to respawn. They're starting to move to the bottom lane. Red team is basically going to be denied a dragon, and on top of it, Shaco moving in. Oh my goodness. Huge opportunity here. Corki getting absolutely devastated. Nice save there by Ahri, drawing him across. Shaco using his ult to save his life, to do that interrupt. Brilliant play. Fizz jumping on turret, drops the shark. Summoner heal from Corki, keeps him alive. Ahri still trying to do what she can on turret. Great taunt! Forces Graves to take some additional turret damage. Might be able to secure the kill. Graves fleeing, and it looks like they just have a lot of damage left on them. Fizz sitting nearby, trying to regenerate as much as he can. He needs to be extremely wary, though, because Ahri, very mobile. She's actually a great character, I would say, to play against Fizz, because she has the same type of mobility where she can just hop in, hop out, and really chase him down. A more difficult play against Fizz. Nautilus now re-engaging mid lane as Ahri's retreating from center. In the meantime, Jax just having a field day pushing things up. He's really bowling top lane up. 2 kills over Vlad. Is actually not up a huge amount of CS, but in a really good position. Nautilus doing some more damage against Yellow. It's one thing about Fizz, unless you have support, especially as Nautilus. It's one thing with Nautilus. He unloads some damage, but he really needs someone else to do a lot of burst in lane to secure kills. But kind of like a Blitzcrank, but with much better clear times overall. Vlad the higher level Vlad gets, the more you can, and the more AP he gets, really, the better he's going to be against this Jax overall. So I'm expecting some more attention to be served by that Shaco overall, and actually I think Vlad might get the kill here. Pulling back around, just has to wait for that to finish. Yeah, gets the kill. And turning back around, it's just the strength of Vlad's lane. He beats a lot of champions. He's very, very strong. Shaco trying to chase this Ahri down, gets taunted, uses his ult, sends the fake in, is hoping the fake will do enough damage upon death to get it accomplished, but no, teleports back. Had too much distance, which is unfortunate. I actually might have been able to finish it up. Nautilus going in for a potential gank opportunity, swinging across, wants to try to occupy that Shaco, misses the pull, unfortunately. But in the meantime, I'm actually going to go ahead and pause and do a full assessment here. In the meantime, bottom lane, Graves looks like he's just about even with that Corki, but it has a superior amount of assists. Is actually well ahead between his pickaxe and his Vampiric Scepter. Corki, in the meantime, looks like he is. I think he's going the Mallet build with that longsword under his belt. Leona, with 2 kills of her own, she's already got her first GP5 item. Interesting enough, we're going to kind of have a double support thing, and actually looks like Nautilus going several GP5 items from the jungle, which is actually pretty typical for Nautilus, because again, he has a lot slower build times, or clear times. He spends more time shoving out of the jungle, so as a result, you kind of want to have that additional gold sitting in there to compensate, so he ends up being kind of a support, an additional support slash tank with a lot of interrupt, is really what it comes down to. He is currently behind Shaco by quite a bit, is actually 2 levels down. You can see 38 compared to the 30, well, actually just about even there, which is to be expected, but he's not been involved as many assists. It's really what it comes down to. The thing is the blue team overall wants to win this early. They want to make sure that Graves gets ultra fed, and that they can just play a full lockdown team and try to accomplish as much as they can as quickly as possible, because unless Shaco just gets dominantly fed, he has a very an extremely hard time participating in late game fights, just because of positioning, because of a lot of things. A lot of people say, oh, it's almost like having a man down. Once those oracles start coming in more frequent play, once you have 5 men grouped up, basically he has to wait to participate in the fights. That's essentially like going in with 4 instead of 5. You can have, of course, that Vlad just sitting all over the rest of that team. So and on top of that, you have an Ahri taunt, which can draw that Shaco off, leave him extremely vulnerable, basically sitting in front of 5 champions. Leona going for another kill. Graves cleans it up, and he is crushing this lane at this stage, really doing a huge amount of damage. Going to force them off. Now let's see if they decide to take this turret and go for a dragon take at this stage, or if they're just going to leave this turret up and basically force this team to play a little bit further out of position, low on health, underwhelmed basically. Comparatively, it looks like they are going to work on that turret. Now the question is, do they leave with sliver health? Nope, they're just going to go ahead and take it out. Now the question is, once Shaco comes to this area, they can just go ahead and take it. It looks like Shaco's got his own oracles, which is very intelligent to deny those wards. Actually, I like that play from Shaco. Go ahead and go get an early oracles. That's just going to make him more effective in that jungle. Yellow taking some burst damage by Ahri in the middle lane. And now calling for another jump on Vlad. And this is where Jax really needs it. Vlad has that Hextech Revolver. He has a lot of regeneration. Jax going in, doing the ignite, doing the damage. Yes, you can pull out, but what are you going to do after that? Do they have enough burst damage to follow through? Yes, they do. Hopping right on it. Vlad trying to just buy himself some time. Not going to happen though. Shaco doing some distractions. Actually, Shaco getting taken out. He was hoping that his clone was going to take that damage, was going to pull off, but unfortunately did not happen. Tifa needs to run though, because it looks like Nautilus is wandering up. He has enough damage to push through this Jax with his ult. Jax doing counter strike there, using his ult actually, and now he's exhausted. I think Nautilus should be able to finish this off with ease, although not quickly though. And that's, oh, never mind, he gets out with that last leap. I thought Nautilus was going to get that last pull to finish things off, but no, not able to get it accomplished. That is yeah, that's kind of the problem with Nautilus. He needs his teammates to be doing the burst. A lot of pull, a lot of interrupt. Has a lot of inherent health, a lot of inherent armor, but at the same time, not a huge amount of damage, just a lot of interrupt. Thought he was going to get that kill, but not able to finish it off with that last anchor pull. Not sure if it was on cooldown, actually. So, Leona going to just wander up, take a look at these guys. They have to be somewhat wary, because look at this. The entire opposite team missing. Yellow is a little bit low on health. They might not have a read on it. Looks like Shaco and Graves wandering up. Shaco, that's the other thing on that death. He lost his oracles. I'm not sure he should have been playing that risky with an oracles in his possession, because that is 400 gold that he's not going to get back, and that 400 gold is extremely precious at this stage of the fight. It looks like they're staging around the Baron area, staging around the blue, want to create a little bit of fight. This is going to allow Vlad to just pick away at this Jax top lane, so he's going to push that in, do as much damage to this turret as he possibly can. Corki just sitting there. Actually, he's going back. For a second there, I thought he was going to guard that bottom lane just in case there's an attempted take. Looks like Shaco going to go ahead and give blue buff to Yellow in the meantime. Yellow's been getting pushed around quite a bit in middles, just at 65 compared to 78. Not a huge differential, but a significant enough differential. He's at 3 Dorn's Rings, just sitting at boots of speed. And because of his huge mobility, he can do that for quite some time. Actually not going to participate in this gank. Shaco hopping, completely ignoring those wards, and Vlad might get taken out once again. Death Noob on the pursuit, wants to get some slows down, do some continuous damage. This is the thing, if that Fizz was still there, that would have been that. Instead, dropping that Shaco box, going to turn back around. Vlad's going to have a long time pursuit, going to run into that, get feared. Is looking to try to get back in that top lane, but not get caught by either of these. Death Noob actually sticking nearby. In the meantime, it looks like Red Team is in fact working on Dragon. They do have 4 in that position, knowing that Shaco and Jax are in that top position, knowing essentially that Fizz has gone back and they can't do a lot. Looks like I'm going to have to go ahead and pause and come back to this. Just so much happening on the field. I can't cover it all, guys. I can't cover it all. Boas getting, yeah, he was spotted by Death Noob. Death Noob being extremely patient, hopping in, close levels on Vlad. That's how well he's doing out of the jungle. Looks like he is, in fact, going to get the kill for Jax. In the meantime, back at Dragon. Looks like Fizz running in. Yeah, I think he got the steal there. Might even get a kill on top of that. Nope, there's the heal, plus Nautilus shield. He ends up getting himself wiped out. That was a suicide attempt. They're trying to focus on that Taric once again. Looks like dual exhaust, however. Ahri, a nice exhaust on Ahri to try to minimize the damage she was able to output, but Graves ends up paying for it in his life, and that is what you do not want to have happen at Dragon. On an attempt to steal, lose 2, possibly 3, might be 3 here. Looks like it is in fact going to be 3. Goodbye, Leona. So, although it looks like Leona did manage to finish off Nautilus with an Ignite, I think. Does she even have Ignite under her belt? Yeah, has Ignite plus Exhaust to finish off those last second kills. Probably while she was getting those kills earlier as well. Death Noob and Tifa realizing I'm nowhere near this fight. Let's go ahead and push this turret to the wall in the interim time, but it's not even going to be a turret exchange. Well, it is going to be turret exchange. They're taking top turret, but bottom turret going to get taken out. Plus free Dragon. Really good turnaround there for the red team. They're only 2,000 gold behind now. Slightly behind as far as kills go. Really the big story here, and really this could be a big swing for the red team now, keep in mind, because again, this is the stage of the game where that Shaco ends up being a little bit less effective, where Nautilus, even though he has had a really hard time in jungle, even though he's 2 levels behind, he starts being more effective in this mid-team fight stage where he can provide a lot of interrupts, protect his carry a lot better than Shaco can. Yeah, Shaco can drop a single box, but that single box is only so good, and it doesn't really work against AD carries, and only works against close-range AP carries, so it's only really good at warding tanks away. And honestly, against Leona, I'm not sure it makes against some of these guys, I'm not sure it makes a huge difference. Oh, poor Fizz. Fizz having the one of probably a really terrible game. Seems like every single time I look at him, he's getting absolutely crushed. Not Fizz, Blurp, Taric. Poor Taric, 5 deaths. Brain fart there. What I meant to say. In the meantime, you have Baron moving up. Looks like they're trying to position around Baron, saying, okay, 4 down. Graves just going to flat push bottom. Shaco has the cutoff area. Let's see if he drops some boxes. Yeah, he's trying to set up a trap for these guys. Fortunately, that box is going to hit Nautilus first. Double attack. Here comes Graves running in, separated from Corki. Death Noob trying to flee, and this is what I was talking about. Corki just able to unload damage. Now Layout is just going to get pinned and annihilated as a result. And again, I think that's more, and you can see it's the exact same situation. Shaco actually has levels on Nautilus there, but Corki just able to wander up and barrel through a Graves that actually has additional kills on him, has more CS than him, overall is further along in his build ultimately than him. Doesn't have Infinity Edge yet. Looks like Corki does have Mallet, but still, the effect is felt at that stage, and that's what I'm talking about, and that is possibly why we might have a turnaround for the red team. That action right there. In the meantime, Taric holding his own apparently against this Jax, and I don't know why that Jax isn't just like, perhaps it's just because there's a couple guys missing, but going, hey, free kill. Granted, Taric does have a stun amongst some other things, so it's a little bit more dangerous territory. It looks like Yellow calling for, hey, let's go ahead and get an attack here on Ahri in mid. I guess that Taric's like, I'm not worth anything anyway, so actually pretty intelligent situation. I've got 5 deaths, so, and I haven't been involved with anything. Let me go ahead and pull out of this. Nice wording there. Pushing down, it looks like they saw, okay, Taric coming. That possibly means that there's more coming from the north. 4 gathered currently in this central area, looking for some ward clearing, and there is a lot of wards in this area. All sorts of wards in the central area. It's where all the action's happening. Vlad free to farm top in the meantime. He is at 114, actually ahead in CS overall, but behind as far as the kill to death ratios go. Still a very strong character, has a lot of regeneration. Blue team gathering up. This is where they really need Jax to be part of these fights, but Jax towards the north there is a little bit worried about that Vlad and his tower, which it looks like it's whittling away in health. He's going to go there and try to save it, and at this stage they have to rely entirely on Leona stuns essentially to get it accomplished, and that's still going to leave, even with the stuns, I seriously doubt that Leona is really going to be able to pin down that Corki just because he's so mobile, so long range with those rockets. And nice, and on top of that, those charms. Honestly, if Ahri hits anyone on this opposite team, it is a guaranteed kill, is really what it comes down to. Everyone except for maybe Jax. Maybe Jax will have enough health and be able to use his invulnerabilities essentially to kind of sneak out of that fight. But if she catches Graves, if she catches Leona, if she catches Fizz, she's happy to nail any additional champion. Jax jumping in on Ganja Pipe. That poor guy, that poor Taric. Leona continuing to do some damage. Again, Taric kidding. That's 6 deaths for him. Poor guy. Angel's Mercy taking some good ignite damage. Another engagement. Ahri popping in, trying to do what she can. Death Noob. Wow. There's Tifa getting a nice stun. Death Noob needs to be careful pushing in. And you can see they're just getting turned around. They don't have any tank to provide any buffer, any initiation for them in the area. Vlad coming in, going for a cleanup. He's most certainly going to get Death Noob. He's going for Leona as well. Can pull in, pull out. Goodbye, double kill right there, and red team just starting to take over. Just now taking the gold lead. They're definitely going to get that mid turret. Graves getting hit by an Ahri Nautilus combo. Some nice CC, and is this going to be game? It looks like several of them down. Minions are pushing. They still have some damage they can do on mid turret. They can actually take it, maybe even get an additional turret on top of this. The opposite team is just now coming up, still 20 seconds. So might be able to peck away a little bit at the additional turret. Let's see if they decide to go for jungle instead. It looks like Ahri sitting somewhere nearby, wants to get some free minion hits, maybe try to pick away at Fizz. Yeah, it looks like Corki going to check blue buff, work his way towards the north. Taric sitting back. They're just going to go ahead and back out. Count their successes where they're at, but they have taken the lead overall in gold. They have to be feeling good at this stage of the match. Again, things are starting to move in their favor, and the only thing I think that can really keep blue team in this at this stage is some amazing play from this Fizz. And if he's dead, it's not going to help at all. Doing some ignite damage, trying to allow his backup to swing in. Basically, the team composition of blue, it has to be, okay, you go ahead and gather up his 5. We're going to come at you not head on, but from every other angle. Essentially from basically all 5 directions. You just have the big ball there, and then Leona and Graves, and just a big mess happening on. And the fight has to start on Corki. If they can lock down Corki, do all that magic, somehow survive the damage output of Vlad in the interim amount of time, they'll be solid. Because keep in mind, on the red team, they really, well, they have 2.5 sources of damage, really, is what it comes down to. Ari can output a lot of damage, Corki can output a lot of damage, and Vlad can output a lot of damage when he's not, you know, pooling. Well, pooling still does damage, but you guys know what I'm saying. It's more on cooldowns. It's not an attack damage thing, it's casting dependent, which Ari is too, so I guess I digress. Talking in circles here. Point being, if they kill Ari, if they kill Corki, the odds that they're going to lose a team fight, very, very low. The question is catching Ari and catching Corki. That's going to be extremely difficult with all of the crowd control, all the stuns, all the slows, everything they have in their way. Red pointing out, okay, you got Vlad isolated against Fizz top. Let's go ahead and engage across that middle turret. Again, if we get a good pull from Ari, if we get a good stun from Taric, that'll essentially be game. Death Noob going for a counterattack up top, trying to chase down Vlad. Nautilus is chasing Death Noob now. He's getting eaten by an ult. He's in a bit of trouble now, getting chased by several people, but Corki swinging back around. This is a messy team fight. This is actually going to help against blue team. Corki getting exhausted, pulled out of there. Ganja Pipe trying to do what he can to try to draw the rest of the team back. He's dead. Sacrificial Taric. He actually sneaks out, somehow manages to stay alive. Ari's gotten pinned. She gets hit by the Leona ult. She gets shut down by that whatever, by the Jax, that's what I'm looking for. And now blue team still not able to get it accomplished. That was their optimal team fight situation, I think. They had the Corki out of it for a good portion of time. They had Ari out of it. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and review that mess of a team fight. Because I'm stuttering. This is why we're practicing. Go ahead and go back. Going to go at ×2 speed. Watch everybody move really fast. This is where I need that Benny Hill music. You know. Anyway, so Lord starts it. Already out of position. Keep in mind, Vlad is about half health, but that's still a lot of health. That's still 1,300 health compared to Jax on the opposite end, who's around 2,000. So about a 700 differential there. Eye Yellow's actually, this is probably the most significant factor here. Eye Yellow, because he was just exchanging with Vlad for such a huge period of time. He is very low on health, so he's extremely vulnerable. But this is huge right here. They catch Corki, and Ari is caught underneath versus Leona. So she is mostly boxed out of this fight and is actually getting turned around and actually isolated against this grave. This is the power of Ari. She's able to sneak out. In the meantime, in all this chaos, let me go ahead and back out, because there's like 2 portions of team fighting that are happening here. I'll have to reset it here. So you see Corki, and this is, I can't believe that Taric gets out of this. This is really what it comes down to. They just need to ignore this Taric at this stage. It looks like they're still unloading damage at him, which is allowing Corki just to pound away. And this is where, if you were a support or you were a tank, and you are, I mean, he has 6 deaths. He only has an Aegis. He doesn't even have level 2 boots at this stage. That's how well he's doing. But he is still winning this game for his team. Sitting there, absorbing the damage, allowing Angel's Mercy to just pound away these turrets. Gets a kill on Death Noob, and this is when it starts shifting around. Leona has, I think, already expended a couple of her stuns. In fact, I can actually check, can't I, to look at the cooldowns. No, actually, it looks like she's got a full set here. This is actually a really good time to do... Wow, that's annoying, the Corgi. Blah, 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 blah. So that's taken down. Jax hops in. Manages to kill Ari. This is pretty big. He actually just needs to continue this and continue to hop on that Corki. Unfortunately, it looks like Taric is nearby, can provide a stun. Layout is gone, is really what it comes down to. Leona just absorbed too much damage from Ari. He's just gotten pinned between these two. And unfortunately, Jax is like, nope, can't really do it. Just gotta cut my losses and get out. Great team fight from Red. Unfortunately, I think that's the best that Blue could hope for, and still didn't work out for them. And now that's gonna open up an easy Baron fight. I gotta say, the Taric, salute to you. I mean, he's really sticking with this thing. 6 deaths every time he showed up anywhere. He's just been picked on. He's been just annihilated. And he's the support. He's got to be like, why are you going after the support? What gives? I'm just the lowly support, and actually might die here to Baron. Yeah, it dies to Baron on top of everything else. Not having the best game is really what it comes down to. And yet he found a way to be effective in that last fight. Tifa moving in, looking for kills. Hits the Corki a little bit. That's going to keep them from getting Baron, but that's going to cost... goodbye. Going to cost Jax his life. Are they going to finish off Baron? Looks like they're going to leave it because everybody else is up. Fizz chasing it down. Looks like Vlad might end up actually getting killed by... Actually, no. Turning around, life-stealing. Corki doing some follow-up damage. Nautilus there on the turn. There's pull from Vlad, and actually Death Noob might end up getting killed. No, never mind. Nautilus not able to get the grab he wanted to. finally it looks like Shaco able to do some damage, and this is just kind of clean up fall around. So blue team actually finding a way to sneak back in. This is 2 kills. Now it's actually even in kills overall. They might be able to open up and take Baron at this stage. Graves, I believe, has Infinity Edge. Yes, he has Infinity Edge. Has a lot of damage. Looks like Trinity Force is just now built on Jax. Ahri swinging around. Ooh, that was dangerous. She has no wards in this area. Absolutely none. Just wandered directly into that bush. Had no idea where the opponent's team was. She's extremely lucky that she did not face plant into someone. Granted, she is a little bit more of a mobile champion, but if she hit Leona right there, that could have been a death for her, and that could have been just an absolute shift. That could have really ended the game, is really what it comes down to. Anyway, blue buff is up. Fizz is going to go probably take it solo at this stage. Looks like Ahri is going to do the same on her side. Corki just looking for his red buff, whatever not. Looks like they're trying to position back. Both teams actually trying to position, do what they can. They're going to prepare for a little bit more Baron action down the line. Ahri still working on this blue buff on that corner. I'm not sure why I'm focusing on that. Smart cam. Fizz in the meantime has gotten his needlessly large rod. Ahri in the opposite end is 4 kills alone. She's sitting at the needlessly large rod as well. She's Will of the Ancient, so is going to have a little bit more durability. Overall, going to be able to regenerate faster in fights. Corki looking for Tifa with Vlad nearby. Is just going to let him go ahead and exit. Sees him going back though, and is going to be able to push, well, going to be able to push Leona off Baron in the meantime. They're going to have everything spotted here. Shaco Box just going to die in that bush in the meantime. Leona backing off, so we got a 4-on-4 situation in a second. Approaching in mid, Jax moving in, so this is going to turn into 5. Vlad out of position. It looks like he's going for small golems, and really he needs to be with the team at this stage. I guess it's not a huge necessity because, yes, there is a Nautilus, there is a Taric. They can provide a lot of support here in the meantime. Looks like Leona trying to do what she can to try to push out these wards, but lots of wards in between. The big difference here between red and blue is because of those last kill exchange, they do not have an Oracle's any place on the opposite corner. Death Noob sending in his clone. A little bit of damage. Ahri trying to poke away of it. Ooh, okay, yeah, clone from Shaco. That's going to kill them. Blue just coming out of that with not a lot of health. Just superior poke altogether for the red team. Just with 4, they're able to just chunk away at the blue team's health without even Vlad there, is really what it comes down to. Vlad's almost in a, hey, I can come back and just do a cleanup role at this stage. Leona sitting on turret, Tifa going back. They're saying, hey, no, you got to defend turret, guys. We can't all go back here at this stage. Fizz goes back. Looks like Jax is going to, in fact, stay. Vlad moving his way in. Corki looking for an opportunity. Ahri, if she hits any of those charms, that could be it. They're just going to let those minions try to pin away underneath. Shaco trying to protect it with the boxes. The Graves right there, and yeah, they're just doing all sorts of damage now that Jax isn't there on top of turret. And again, they just have superior amount of tankage, is really what it comes down to. Leona, she has some damage and whatnot. She has some armor, but doesn't have enough as a support to really penetrate through this. Jax, in the meantime, he's built mostly magic resist, so that Graves can actually pound through him fairly effectively. Now they're engaging, jumping up on top of turret, managed to hit a lot. Oh my goodness! Great kill. Leona's able to shut down that Ahri. So Ahri down. Let's see if they can get Corki. If they can get Corki, that would be huge. Corki at the top fight though, and he's going to be able to turn around. Nope, he's turning around. Now he's going into overdrive mode, just clearing everyone out. Vlad also getting a double kill, just pinning everyone there, and that should be the match. Vlad chasing down that poor Leona. She did her best. I'm going to go ahead and do a review of that fight. But managed to get one, but not the other. It was a 2-piece thing. So here comes the jump. They're realizing, okay, we're getting pinned in on turret. Going to go ahead. They drop a shark. Nails Ahri. So great job. Flips in, hits, but you can see Vlad pooling here in the meantime. He's dropped his ult on everyone here. So yes, they managed to kill Ahri. But what really counts here, and they managed to exhaust Corki. Actually, never mind. That's not Corki. They actually also managed to isolate Corki. However, Fizz is taking too much damage, and that's a really annoying sound. He's going to be able to take out Fizz on that turnaround. Leona standing here, but look at this turnaround damage. They're all just standing there. They have nowhere they can go. Graves is a very short-range attack damage champion. He was trying to get in position to do something. He's completely caught out of position behind both his Shaco. Again, almost a 4 versus 5 because of the way Shaco has to position. He's not very good at the straightforward engagement fights, and as a result, essentially just way more damage being done. He doesn't, and that's the thing. Shaco, he's a single target champion, and when your single targets can basically just fly away like Corki can, or can just jump out of the way like Ahri can, I guess not in that instance, it becomes very difficult for him to be effective. So, and on top of that, his only AoE comes from the Shaco clone, and yeah, it ends up being kind of devastating. So red team, Going to be able to swing this back around, starting to move towards that top inhibitor, or sorry, that top turret. Looks like they're going to focus. Never mind, they're just going to focus on whatever turret. Ganja Pipe is like, you know what? I've died a bunch this time. I'm just going to go ahead and die again. As I'm wandering through turret damage, Death Noob looking for a kill there. Vlad backing up. They need to be careful, actually. It looks like Death Noob has already taken not a huge amount of damage as his clone, but re-engaging on this fight. He's sneaking out, allowing his clone to sit in there. Yellow, again, low on health. The rest of this red team, actually, in a dangerous situation, was trying to pull out. Ari looks like she went back to spawn. Vlad has been shut down and killed. Taric needs to get the heck out of there. He's been sitting back a little bit too far. He almost looks like he's going to suicide here. No, he's opening up the kill. Doing a good job tanking for Tifa. To take out Tifa. Tifa gone. Ari might want to get the heck out of there, though, particularly with Leona nearby. Death Noob a little bit low on health, but that tit for tat is basically going to keep... Ooh, never mind. Ari taking over now. Just taking over. That's 3 deaths. Death Noob gone. So 3 up on one side, 2 up on the other, and it's Leona Graves. Then Inhibitor's down. Corki's still as low on mana, actually. Not significant for Corki because he's not... He tends to like launching those rockets from distance more than just standing and fighting. Ari has plenty of mana, though, to get it accomplished, so it looks like she's going to go ahead and start pecking away at bottom turret. Leona does not want to get caught. She can be killed fairly quickly with the combo. These two, the rest of everyone healing up. They're going to rejoin the fight. Red team in a commanding position overall, though. Yeah, and Ari's just going to sit there, go ahead and take out what she can. Ari has a death cap, as will the Ancient, so she recharges very, very rapidly. And honestly, I'm wondering when we're going to see a Baron take. Red team can honestly take Dragon, just back out, take some of this jungle, go back, take Baron, finish the game off. And that's really what they should do at this stage. Looks like Ganja Pipe is actually clearing wards, perhaps in preparation for just that. Blue team, this is the difficulty for blue team. Okay, yes, they need to go contest Baron, but at the same time, all the time they're running around, messing around with the Baron fight, the lanes are pushing because you have super minions on each lane. That are going to be, in mid lane, they're going to be pushing their way down, so big advantage in their part. Tifa working their way against Ganja Pipe. We do have, I need to stop saying that, 3 against Taric, the 3 in the northern corner. I just got to give him props, though. He's doing a really good job tanking. Vlad is fed to craziness. He's 9, 6, and 4. This is why you ban Vlad. Can do tons of AoE, has tons of health, tons of regeneration, and on top of that, he went Zoni's Hourglass. How ridiculous is that? So just in case you couldn't kill him enough, just in case you did manage to whittle down his health and his health generation and everything else, he's just going to use Zoni's Hourglass. Yellow gone. I'm not even sure I want to comment on that. Leona is most likely dead here too. They don't even care about this turret anymore. Goodbye. That Vlad is just... Honestly, the Vlad is almost enough. Vlad, Corki, and Ari. That's all I need on this team at this stage. To just finish this game off. Ari, 6 kills. Corki sitting at 5 kills himself. He's feeling very proud and happy with it. He's got double buffs. He's just going to absorb some damage, dive right in, go after Death Noob. Death Noob, nice juke on his part to try to sneak back around. You can send that clone. She got exhausted. Looks like it's just going to get taken out. And there's the GG. From the blue team, going to call it. There's no clear way they could win. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Nevertheless, again, props to that Taric. Thanks for listening. Again, comments, feedback, love it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, spread the word back. Thanks for listening. Oh, and if you're in San Diego and today is May 10th for you, Megaran is doing a concert. Look it up. Search for Megaran San Diego for Megaran concerts. He's actually going to Los Angeles fairly quickly if you're in the Los Angeles area. If you don't know who Megaran is, look him up. I really enjoy his music. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody.